Listen, it costs you way more not to fix your credit than it does to actually fix your credit. What up? You got Mr. Smith, point five of Mr. and Mrs. Smith. And in this brief video, I just want to give you an overview of why and how it actually costs you more not to fix your credit than it does to fix your credit. Many people push it off, procrastinate, and say that they'll get to it when they get to it. But in all actuality, they're still making purchases. They're still buying things. They're still paying debt. They're still getting loans. They're still paying high interest rates. And as a result, it's costing them way more not to fix their credit than it does to fix their credit. So what exactly do I mean? As you know, credit affects many things, whether that's getting qualified for an auto loan, a home loan, a personal loan, whether that's paying back what you owe on a credit card, whether that's applying for a job. Credit has an effect. And during this time, a lot of people have been getting disqualified for the SBA loan. Even though they have a business, they're getting disqualified for those loans due to poor credit. So it's just limiting the opportunities that you have for yourself due to the fact that your credit isn't intact. And because of that, you find yourself paying way more than it actually costs you to fix your credit. First of all, I like to tell people, listen, it's not hard to fix your credit. Many people just don't have the patience, the time, and the persistence to learn the process, and that's fine. So what we do is give people options. We teach people how to do it themselves if they choose, give them their system to do it, or we help them restore it. And it saves them time because they allow us to help them restore it. But before I get into any of that, this is what I want you to understand. If you have an auto loan, you may have gotten approved for the auto loan, but if your credit was less than 720, less than 700, less than 680, really those sevens, then guess what? You might have felt like they did you a good deed by getting you approved, or if they told you, hey, your credit doesn't matter, we still get you approved, you feel like that dealership did you a favor. But if you truly knew what was happening on the back end, you would really be upset that they didn't educate you properly, that they didn't position you to win properly, that they didn't connect you with somebody like myself who can help you restore your credit. Because what happened is you qualified for the car and you got excited and you probably referred people to that dealership and felt like, hey, they got me approved. But what happened is you paid for the car twice because the interest rate on that car due to you having less than perfect credit is going to be more than the interest rate for a person who has great credit. What do I mean? So say, for example, the car costs $20,000, give or take, and you have poor credit. And instead of your interest rate on that car being 5% or less, 6% or less, you wind up paying 17% on a car. 21% on a car. So that $20,000 car just cost you about $40,000 when you do the math and break it all down. Now, that's not specific. This is just me going off the top of the dome, but it costs you $40,000. So my question to you is, I hope you love the car enough to pay $40,000 for it, even though the sticker said $20,000. You can't tell people you got that car for $20,000 because you didn't. Because over time you're paying paying $40,000, and then many times the car payments stretch out to 5 years or 6 years. You'll see it broken down in 72 months, 60 months. By the time the 60-month mark hits or the 72 mark hits, most of the time people don't even like the car that they once loved. And if they still have debt attached to it, then they really don't like it. So they're upside down because the value of the car is extremely low in comparison to what you owe. So that's really where you got to understand that the dealership is not looking out for you. They're looking out for them. The higher the interest rate, the more you have to pay back. The more you have to pay back on a faster amount, the faster they get their money, they get paid. So they're paid. By the time you're a year in, 2 years in, 3 years in, they were able to recoup their money as soon as possible due to the fact that they charged you a higher interest rate and made you pay for the car. But less of it was going to the principal. More of it was going to the interest rate. So they won that battle and you lost, and you're left to deal with it. And they're free and clear due to the fact that the terms didn't have your best interests at heart. So if you paid $40,000 for the car, that really cost $20,000. And it costs you way less than $20,000 to fix your credit. That's exactly what I mean when I say it costs you less money to restore your credit than it does not to. So it's costing you money not to restore your credit. If your credit is less than perfect and you're paying for anything, whether there's utilities, insurance, and especially if you're paying for credit cards or mortgage or auto loan, you see exactly what I mean when I say, listen, just pay whatever it is to fix your credit. Whether that's you pay someone to do it or you actually get access to a system that teaches you step by step how to do it so you can know the ins and outs and know the game so you can do it yourself. Or somebody who's willing to teach you some of those things as they restore your credit. And that's what I personally prefer and recommend for you. And the same is true for buying a home. So that was just an auto loan example, but the same is very true about buying a home. Now, you might not even get qualified if your credit is too low in terms of buying a home. However, if your interest rate is higher, then guess what? You might have to pay more at the closing table. You might have to pay more over time if you don't understand the power of your credit score and getting it restored. And now instead of you paying an extra $20,000 for a home, you end up paying a whole lot more because the house costs a whole lot more. So I don't want this video to be too long, but I hope you get the importance of restoring your credit. It saves you money. It's not an expense. Many people say, well, I don't have it to spend, or, I might have the monthly or the upfront, or I don't want to pay for a system. I've already tried Googling and looking up videos on how to do it, and that could work. But if you have a system that saves you time, but if you're not doing anything, investing time in yourself or money into yourself, then you're going to pay all the entities that are overcharging you thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars just to own something that could have cost you a whole lot less. So with that being said, that's all I have for this video. It costs you way more money not to fix your credit than it does to actually fix your credit. If you want access to a system that's step by step that teaches you exactly what you need to do in order to restore your credit, reach out, comment below, whatever you got to do in order to let us know, and we'll get it in your hands. If you need assistance on getting that done for you, reach out, let us know. We'll let you know the options that exist for you. But nonetheless, restore your credit because it costs you more not to. That's all I got. Mr. Smith signing out.